Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a story that is just incredibly powerful. It's called The Last Promise. We're going to explore a deeply emotional narrative about a dog's absolute, unwavering loyalty. But really, it's also about us. It touches on those universally human experiences of love, devastating loss, and ultimately how we heal. It's a beautiful look at how we form bonds and how those bonds can survive literally the hardest things life throws at us. Let's get right into it.
I want you to picture an old golden retriever. Imagine this dog hasn't eaten in 3 days. He's starving, he's weak, he's visibly trembling. And yet every single morning, without fail, he walks to the exact same bus stop. He just sits there. He refuses to move, staring so intently down this empty road. You have to ask yourself, why was he waiting?
Now, people walking by just assumed, this dog is a stray, or maybe he simply got lost. But he wasn't lost at all, not even close. He had a very clear purpose. He was holding on to a specific promise made by a little boy. A boy who had looked right at him and said, "I'll be back after school."
So the mystery really intensifies here. Picture a rainy afternoon. A local police officer notices this weak dog just refusing to leave his post at the bus stop. The officer approaches, gently checks the dog's collar right there in the pouring rain, and he finds a tiny, hidden folded note. And here's the wild part. Immediately upon reading this note, the officer just breaks down in tears. To understand what he read, we actually need to go back in time a bit.
Section 1. Buddy and Noah, the bond. Let's rewind 5 months. 10-year-old Noah rescued this completely terrified shelter dog and named him Buddy. At first, Buddy was scared of absolutely everyone, but Noah was incredible. He sat beside this frightened animal for hours and hours, day after day, and once Noah patiently earned that trust, they became completely inseparable. Through rain, through snow, even in the burning summer heat, Buddy never missed a single day walking Noah to the school bus in the morning and waiting for him right there at that exact same stop in the afternoon.
All of this dedication really culminated in this beautiful, quiet moment between the two of them. One evening, Noah hugged Buddy super tightly and whispered, "You're not just my dog, you're my best friend." And Buddy, as if to completely cement this unbreakable bond, wagged his tail happily in response.
But the very next morning, absolutely everything changed. In a sudden, incredibly tragic turn of events, on the way to school, Noah's family was involved in a terrible car accident. And tragically, 10-year-old Noah did not survive.
Buddy, of course, had absolutely no way of understanding this tragedy. He didn't know about the accident. He didn't understand the concept of death. He only knew one stark, devastating reality. His best friend didn't step off the school bus that afternoon. Noah never came home.
Section 2. The broken promise. A heartbreaking vigil.
Grief really has a way of trapping us in old routines. And for Buddy, his daily routine wasn't just a habit. It was the physical manifestation of his bond with Noah. Let's look at this timeline. On day 1, Buddy waited at that stop until sunset before finally walking home alone. On day 2, he came back again to watch the buses. Fast forward to month 3, he is still waiting, every single day. The townspeople were so moved by this that they started bringing him food, but he barely even touched it. He was entirely consumed by the hope of just seeing Noah smiling through the window of a passing bus.
Which brings us right back to that rainy afternoon we talked about earlier. Officer Daniel finally approaches the grieving, starving dog. He gently strokes Buddy's head, checks his collar, and makes the discovery that would literally change both of their lives. Tucked inside that tiny folded note were these devastating words, written by 10-year-old Noah himself. "If anything ever happens to me, please love Buddy as much as I do. He never gives up on the people he loves."
Section 3. Finding a New Heart. The Legacy of Love.
Now, as word of this spread, hundreds of families in town were moved to tears. They all wanted to step up and adopt a Buddy, but Officer Daniel made a different choice. He decided to take Buddy home himself. He felt a really deep personal responsibility to honor the dying wish of that little boy. He was totally determined to be the one to love Buddy just as much as Noah did, and give this poor, grieving dog a safe harbor.
For months, Buddy's entire routine had been waiting for the school bus. And even after Daniel took him in, Buddy still walked to that same stop every morning, just searching down the road. But slowly, over weeks and months, the healing actually began. His routine shifted. He realized his new purpose wasn't waiting for the bus anymore. It was waiting for Officer Daniel to come home.
There was this one evening where Daniel looked at Buddy and offered this beautiful, heartfelt reassurance. He said, "I know you'll never forget Noah, and neither will I." And in just a stunning detail from this story, upon hearing that, Buddy gently rested his heavy head right on Daniel's lap. And finally, after months of agonizing sorrow and waiting, his tail wagged again.
Buddy's journey leaves us with a really profound question about our own human experiences. Where does love go when a promise can't be kept? Think about it. When we experience terrible loss, when the subject of our love is just suddenly gone, what happens to all that immense feeling, that loyalty, that dedication?
Ultimately, we see that some promises can never be kept. The universe steps in and things change. But true love never disappears. It simply finds another heart to call home. Buddy's resilience shows us that even in the wake of unimaginable grief, love endures, it transforms, and eventually it learns to wag its tail again. So I'll leave you with this. What unbreakable bonds are shaping your own life today, and how might they endure your greatest trials? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.